beef eaters.
Bacteria.
Oh, yes, I would accept that, except that we are in the land of honey.
These are the worker bees. Worker bees.
Like bees are the other exist. It's not all the other bees because they're tied up into lots of
There's lazy ones as well.
drone ones, there are scout ones.
There are product development bees, aren't there?
Yeah,
But they've achieved very little. Recently. I mean, it is just honey.
Yeah, it's just
And then it's Manuka honey, and then it's 15 quid.
Yeah.
What are those bees?
But when you compare them to Kit Kat, I mean, Kit Kat, there's orange Kit Kat, various other. I mean, they've really worked on the product development compared to honey. It's just honey.
so what bees, they pre-digest the queen's food. She doesn't have the necessary glands to digest it herself. Even more unpleasant than that, the power to put her on a crash diet. What? Yes, I know. So she gets really big and she's 255, and when they want to swarm, which they do once a year, and they put her on a crash diet, she uses a third of her body weight, and so she's ready to take off.
Is there a committee or something? Some level of management that goes where he's going to be born?
Don't know how these decisions are made. So, for example, choosing a new queen is to select rather randomly a bee at the last stage, and they give it a special diet different from all of the workers. So these are queen cups. These are new queens being developed. Most larvae are fed honey and pollen by worker bees, but occasionally one is fed only royal jelly, which is a sort of protein that's secreted from the glands in the worker bees' heads, and this one is elevated to royal status and becomes queen. But I like that you asked the question, because the truth is we don't know.
Oh, thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So we used to think it was the royal jelly that made the queens develop differently, and we now think it's not what she's fed, but what she is not fed. So the fact that she does not get pollen and honey like the others, it actually makes her ovaries grow large, while the others' reproductive organs, the ones that get the pollen and honey, they actually shrink. And it's a terrible life, actually, because when it comes time to get rid of her, if she's sick or she's unproductive, she's not having any more babies, the workers kill her by balling her.
Oh, I don't know if I want to know what that is.
No.
That's not what I think it is.
No, they large group swarms tightly around her and
Better than I was thinking.
raises her body temperature until she is fatally overheated. I know! I love that we're all feeling sorry for this queen bee. But actually, I say queen bee, since Aristotle's time, it was always assumed it was a king. It took until the 1670s, there was a Dutch scientist called Jan Swammerdam, and he dissected a king bee under a microscope and rather just shocked to discover the size of the ovaries, which represent a quarter of a mature queen's body weight. He also learnt this great thing. If you remove the queen from the hive on a stick, all the other bees will follow you. And this is a beekeeping trick that people use now. And the most bizarre use was in the 18th century in show business. There was a beekeeper called Daniel Wildman, and he had a honey shop in London, and he promoted it by riding horses, standing up while wearing a beard of bees.
And that made people buy from his shop rather than just think
Well,
he was mad.
it's pretty startling if you have a look. This is not him, but these are other people who have the skill of getting bees to do as they please.
Did they all have honey shops as well?
They were just selected in the end, because there was a woman called Patty Jones, so she was the wife of the inventor of the modern circus, Philip Astley, and she used to perform horse riding stunts, but she used to have a swarm of bees on her hand imitating a lady's muff. I mean a hand warmer. Now, who has sex for 15 years and gets licked to death by their own children?
Going to be an insect or something, isn't
Is
it?
it something like a termite?
It is a termite, you're
It is.
absolutely right, yes. Even if you like insects, I think this is a bit gross, okay?
And I don't really like insects.
Right, so
I accept they're necessary.
Yeah, they are necessary, but this is honestly a yellow pulsating mass. So the termite queen, just like bees, is the only fertile female in the colony, and she gives birth to all the rest. But unlike other insects, mates for life, and I mean literally. So after choosing, king spends 15 years incessantly mating to produce the nest colony. She produces one egg every 3 seconds. I know! Oh my God. So over 250 million in her lifetime. And
machine.
So that you can just see her head at the front, and that is her body, and that her egg-producing organ becomes so massive that she's rendered entirely. There she is. I know. She's played by Olivia Colman in the film. Producing eggs the whole time. She grows to be too large to leave the cell. She can be 100 times the size of the other turbines.
Is that the king there on the end?
No, that's her.
The black one there.
Is her.
That's
The
her.
rest is egg producing. So I said it was nice.
Is she having sex and producing an egg at the same time?
Yeah, so she's endlessly shaggy. She goes through about 5 to 10 kings in her lifetime. I think they just get exhausted.
Does she do it the same way every time? Like, do they have to experiment with the sex life to keep it fun? And
Yeah. I think she just gets rid of the king. And she can't move, so they just tend to her, they feed her, they clean her, they drink the secretion that she sweats. Because I did warn you, it's revolting. But when she has outlived her usefulness, so she's not producing enough babies anymore, the children surround her and they lick her to death. They literally suck the fluids and fats from her body.
Who would have thought that there was such a disgusting story behind something as lovely as a turtle?
Anyway, what's wrong with the queen in this picture?
Nothing at all. Oh no, it's kissing the hat. Sorry, it's
Did you think that was a clean-shaven gentleman?
Is she dead?
She is dead. This is Inés de Castro. So we are back in the 14th century. She was the mistress of the first. He had a wife with questions, and she died. So he immediately moved to Italy, villages with the children. Now, his dad was still king then, Alfonso IV, in Florence. So he had Inés killed. Obviously, he's in the world. So he caught two of the killers and had their hearts torn out and pulverized before dinner. So quite rough. I mean, on the whole, quite rough. 6 years later, he became king. He announced that he was secretly married, dug her up, and yes, and placed her on the throne and forced the court to swear allegiance to her and kiss her hand. So she was only dead now. She was buried for 6 years.
Well, in which case they've done a great job.
she looks pretty good.
Absolutely. I mean, I look worse than that many days.
Actually, it was much of a sort of thing. So in 1667, 230 years after Catherine of Valois, she was in sort of her fifth died, her tomb was disturbed by some renovations in Westminster. After that, they paid an extra tour guide. They would take you to see the corpse, and it became a tourist attraction. And Samuel Pepys took his wife and daughters to see it. And this is really good. He wrote in his diary, "I did kiss her mouth, reflecting upon it that I did kiss a queen, that this was my birthday, 36 years old, that I did first kiss a queen." She was 230 years dead.
Still counts.
If it was his first queen, was it his first corpse though? Maybe it was. Maybe he couldn't say it was his first corpse because he's already done that, so he had to say it's his first queen.
Awkward.
Yeah.
The corpse thing, oh, that.
That was like 30th.
Is that the dead?
I can suggest
If that's her dead body, it's had one.
Mr. Castro was a bit of a stiff. Now, who was the first queen?
Married several of her brothers. She was, what we call now a weirdo.
No, it is not
So we're
her.
going to a Brazilian husband.
We are heading indeed to Brazil. I had to have this picture explained to me when I first discovered
Well, we know more about you than we thought we did. I'm the same guy as you. Right.
Honestly, I thought it was caramel. I had no idea. We're going to 1807. We are going to Portugal. The Crown Prince, Dom João. Napoleon is approaching, and he takes his entire court, including his Queen Carlotta, and he thinks, let's go to one of our colonies, and they head off to Brazil. So they go off like a couple of ships, and there's people to Brazil, 10,000 people go with him, and it's unbelievably overcrowded and hygienic, and a lice infestation breaks out. So, in order to get rid of the lice, they warn the women to shave their heads, to throw all their powdered wigs away, and cover their heads in pig fat. Now, about to arrive in Brazil, they want to make it a bit of a stir. But they've got all heads of pig fat.
I think that'll do the job there.
So they arrive at a place called Guanabara Bay, and Carlotta and all the other women emerge with their bald heads covered with improvised turbans. And apparently, so the story goes, the Brazilian women thought this was the height of European style, and it became the local fashion. It's the wonderful Afro-Brazilian population.
So they were bald everywhere then?
Are you worrying about
Just Crawley Winter's courting.
This one looks not unlike David Lynch.
Do you not think she looks a bit like Marty Fong?
Yes, cross with David Lynch.
This is building up into quite the compliment.
This story is true or not about the Brazilians. There is a long history of commoners imitating royals. There was a man called Guillermo, Duke of Mantua. He was a hunchback, so it took the 16th century. And so all of his courtiers put humps on to compliment him.
You've got to judge that carefully.
Yeah,
You might look like you're taking the piss.
just another interesting fashion for royals. Louis XIV, he had a fashion that courtiers should have one long fingernail.
My husband got one special toenail for scratching his eczema. It's awful, isn't it? Is that the sort of thing you're after?
I feel in this show you and I are in danger of oversharing.
And you seem to be fine with that, though. That's
Is it like Marty Fong?
Yes, cross with David Lynch.
This is building up into quite the compliment.
This story is true or not about the Brazilians. There is a long history of commoners imitating royals. There was a man called Guillermo, Duke of Mantua. He was a hunchback, so it took the 16th century. And so all of his courtiers put humps on to compliment him.
You've got to judge that carefully.
Yeah,
You might look like you're taking the piss.
just another interesting fashion for royals. Louis XIV, he had a fashion that courtiers should have one long fingernail. Why was that?
My husband's got one special toenail for scratching his eczema. It's awful, isn't it? Is that the sort of thing you're after?
I feel in this show you and I are in danger of oversharing.
and you seem to be fine with that, though. That's
Yeah, as long as he keeps it to himself, I'm all right.
right.
Yeah.
He hasn't really, has he now?
No.
He's only told me quite recently. We've been together for nearly 15 years. So there's nothing I can do about it now, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Still with it.
No, except maybe pay more attention in the future. So the one long fingernail, what do you reckon?
Is that a cane that he's leaning on, or is that the fingernail?
Well, he didn't have the fingernail, so it was the courtiers.
Everyone else said that.
Yes.
Is it to do with his anus? Just get that out of my head.
What's you doing in your head?
Imagine it.
There's your takeaway from this show. Pulsating termite with a fingernail up Louis XIV's arse. Now,
So in this reality, he said, I want any of you to be ready.
yeah.
There's no
Yes.
telling who I'm going to ask
No.
to stick their fingernail up my ass. I want them all to grow it. I don't want it to be a specialism. I want to say, you, now!
No, so he decreed that nobody was allowed to knock on his door. So instead, said,
scratch.
yes, they had to scratch really gently with one finger, and so it became a thing. You grew a fingernail especially to scratch on the king's door, and it really rather suggested you had the king's ear. Honestly, it would have been better off if they'd done it up his arse. I just think they... Anyway, moving on. What was your best chance of seeing the Queen's ass in the 18th century?
Honestly, really, really, really. Honestly.
She's standing underneath some sort of vacuum. Something like
Those are bees, I think.
Is it a donkey?
Yes, it is. Well,
It's bum, is it?
it's not the Queen's bum. This is Queen Charlotte. She was the wife of George
The third?
George the Third, absolutely right. And she
Very
is...
good.
He's very good.
I'm particularly not.
Nice secret, yeah, an anus full of facts.
Anus of fact.
Yeah, actually the working title of my memoir.
But it wasn't a donkey, it was a zebra, which known as the princess, given her by the governor of the Cape in South Africa in 1761. It was a wedding present. He sent a pair, he sent a male and a female. Unfortunately, the male most died en route, but the female arrived only a year late for the wedding day. And it was a very popular attraction. Lots of people had never seen one before. She had stables at Buckingham Gate, and George Stubbs, the great painter, produced a marvellous large painting, and apparently she bred it. I mean, I say not her personally, but apparently they painted white stripes on the backside of a male donkey who persuaded her to mate with it, and it worked and gave birth. So what would that be? A donkey and a zebra?
Zebra.
It sounds like a condition. It's a zebroid.
Zebra.
Well, you know how you can't sit very well, you always have zebroids. Yeah.
Ah, they like that.
Very good photo. I mean, for 18th century technology,
Anyway, moving on. What was your best chance of seeing the Queen's ass in the 18th century?
Honestly, really, really, really. Honestly.
She's standing underneath some sort of vacuum. Something like
those are bees, I think.
Is it a donkey?
Yes, it is.
It's not the Queen's bum, is it?
It's not the Queen's bum. This is Queen Charlotte. She was the wife of George
The third?
George the Third, absolutely right. And she
Very
is...
good.
He's very good.
Nice secret, yeah, an anus full of facts.
Anus of fact.
Yeah, actually the working title of my memoir.
But it wasn't a donkey, it was a zebra, which was known as the Queen's ass, given to her by the governor of the Cape in South Africa in 1761. It was a wedding present. He sent a pair, he sent a male and a female. Unfortunately, the male most died en route, but the female arrived only a year late for the wedding day. And it was a very popular attraction. Stables at Buckingham Gate, and George Stubbs, the great painter, produced a marvellous large painting, and apparently she bred it. I mean, I say not her personally, but apparently they painted white stripes on the backside of a male donkey who persuaded her to mate with it, and it worked and gave birth. So what would that be? A donkey and a zebra?
Zebra.
It sounds like a condition. It's a zebroid.
Zebra.
Well, you know how you can't sit very well, you always have zebroids. Yeah.
Ah, they like that.
Very good photo. I mean, for 18th century technology,
Does look like a donkey in leggings, doesn't it?
Donkeys in time.
Apparently use it same technique for breeding racehorses. Some stallions will only mate with mares of a particular colour.
I wear a George Clooney mask quite often. On my bum, you understand?
We've got a dog collar, a hound tether, a game noose, and you've got the horn. What game can we play?
What noose have we got?
A game noose.
Oh, a noose that's up for
The
anything.
game. Well, let's just try and work it out. What might you do with a game noose? So that's the third one.
Is it where, you know, you don't want to shoot pheasants, but you might encourage them to commit suicide? You're sort of saying, maybe, I mean, you're a pheasant. What is there to live for? You know? Anyway, there it is. I mean, to be honest,
Yeah.
if the pheasant's killed itself, it's not the same thing as eating it having shot it, is it? You could probably make an argument that it's like a vegan pheasant.
This is kind of what David was talking about. It's about pheasants, but you want to be able to carry them home.
Like little soft handcuffs or something.
Well, I think the more you put it round its neck, darling, and carry it home on your belt.
It's like a pheasant clip.
Exactly, darling. Yes. Where the hell am I going to put my pheasant? Oh, I know. I've got my game noose.
Yeah.
So all of these things come from one game: a dog collar, a hound tether, a game noose, and a horn. From somewhere around 1470. This game.
Is it a sex game?
Depends how you play it, I suppose. Let's not limit ourselves.
Is it cards?
It is absolutely cards. So the world's oldest full set of playing cards. It's called the Hofjeer Hunting Pack. Well, let's just try and work it out. What might you do with a game noose? So that's the third one.
Is it where, you know, you don't want to shoot pheasants, but you might encourage them to commit suicide? You're sort of saying, maybe, I mean, you're a pheasant. What is there to live for? You know? Anyway, there it is. I mean, to be honest,
Yeah.
if the pheasant's killed itself, it's not the same thing as eating it having shot it, is it? You could probably make an argument that it's like a vegan pheasant.
This is kind of what David was talking about. It's about pheasants, but you want to be able to carry them home.
Like little soft handcuffs or something.
Well, I think the more you put it round its neck, darling, and carry it home on your belt.
It's like a pheasant clip.
Exactly, darling. Yes. Where the hell am I going to put my pheasant? Oh, I know. I've got my game noose.
Yeah.
So all of these things come from one game: a dog collar, a hound tether, a game noose, and a horn. From somewhere around 1470. This game.
Is it a sex game?
Depends how you play it, I suppose. Let's not limit ourselves.
Is it cards?
It is absolutely cards. So the world's oldest full set of playing cards. It's called the Hofjeer Hunting Pack. It's currently in the Metropolitan Museum in New York City.
What's the top one?
Well,
It's like a balloon whisk.
So instead of the suits that we have today, if we go through them, the dog collar on the bottom, and then the game noose, and then the horn, and then a hound tether.
Oh.
There wasn't even up until the 17th century, so we don't know what kind of games they would have played. But this would have been one of the first packs to have a queen. In Europe, they originally had no queen and had a collar and horseback on stage, but around the 15th century, they start to swap them out and they start to have a queen. But lots of things have changed in games because the queen in chess was originally the vizier, so sort of advisor, the minister. The chess board was a battlefield and it eventually became the royal court, so you get the vizier, the infantry, the cavalry, the elephants, the chariots, the queen, the knight, the bishop, and so on.
And in Monopoly, when did they start having the little dog in the hat?
That is a very good question. They were in fact all just charms off of charm bracelet.
Oh,
Sorry.
yeah, that's a shit answer.
Sorry. I don't know, Sarah, but let's hope one day somebody finds out.
Thanks.
They'll just edit the bit out where I tell you the truth. Okay.
I believe they were charms from a charm bracelet.
Did you get that from your anus of fact?
Yes, yeah, I've just popped into my own anus.
Now it's time for the short walk to the chopping block we call general ignorance. Fingers on buzzers, please. What's the oldest object in the crown jewels?
Is it the Queen?
It's not a bad guess.
Wow, that's really loud.
I'm sorry, I turned the volume right up. It's an old spoon.
Yes, you are absolutely right. It is an old.
Yeah, no.
How old, David?
Well, most of the crown jewels were lost at the Civil War. So almost everything is post-Civil War. There's the odd thing left.
What?
The anus speaks! there's only a very few things from before that, so from before then.
So it's late 12th century, so it's a 10.5-inch long anointing spoon. It's one of only 4 things that we have which predate the Restoration. The other 3 are some 17th century swords. It's from about the time of Edward the Confessor. You get a set of coronation regalia which gets passed down from ruler to ruler. But then, of course, as you say, the monarchy was abolished and the new government decides to melt everything down. But there was a guy called Mr. Kinnersley, who was the yeoman of Charles I's wardrobe.